it. So I think that's why I really appreciate the fact that we're having this conversation, because if we do not build value, we cannot have good leadership. Value is what you can offer to solve a problem that can touch many lives in the community. And that is why I really keep focusing to really get the mindset of you guys. And I think you are really giving a lot of information. We must become the versions we want to see. And those versions we want to see can only be practical when we have something to offer to turn challenges to opportunities. And that was really spot on. Esika, we must become the versions we want to see. You assemble a team to put an ICT, an information communication technology app, and you brought in people who can do design, who can develop infographics. And today, an app is available. So how did you sustain? Because you want to understand, because a lot of people give up when they face a little challenge, or even when they are guided with a tone that is stronger, they say, that guy is too harsh, and then they run away. But I'm spending a lot of time, like Bula said, you need to create time. If you don't create time, time is never given. You create time for what is important. You create time to build value. You create time to develop a skill. So how have you sustained this? And how did you guys come up with the app? And what is, because now I'm not transitioning to the substance to the impact of what building value, building skills have now achieved, and how that is going to impact society. Yes, Esika.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Before diving into the question, I would just like to stress more on Bolaji's points. And one thing is this, to know if you are actually adding value to your life, you have to set goals. And that is simply it. You have to set goals. Be it you are a volunteer, you are a career person, you are an entrepreneur, you are a founder. No matter the space of your life, the measure of value is ability to meet your personal goals. You set personal goals, you set career goals. So you set goals. Now, in the next 1 year, you ask yourself, where do I want to see myself in? In the next 1 year, what are the things I want to do? In short, 1 year is too far. In 3 months, where do I visualize myself in? What do I want to do and want to achieve? And when you're able to set this goal and acquire it, that will be the measure of your value. So then, how were we able to sustain challenges over time while building the app? The truth is, there were challenges, there were delays. Even while managing the whole project, it shoot out time. Yeah, you spent the proposed time 3 months, 6 months, and then it was shooting even more. Then how do you manage it amidst this? The way to manage this is to make up for the lapses. Now, what leaders do is they try to understand individual problems. They look at, how do I solve these problems? For example, you look at things like internet, electricity. Are these problems solvable at the moment? Now, if they are solvable, you throw up resources to solve this instead of complaining and complaining and complaining that nothing is being done. Let me cite 3 examples here. In Africa, we know, let's take Nigeria, for example. We know issue has to do with light and data connection. In short, according to data, Africa has one of the most expensive data connection in the globe. One of the most expensive data connection in the globe. So to connect to internet is very expensive. Now you're developing this app, you have to stay on the internet, and before you know, you run out of resources. Now, as a leader, instead of complaining, I'm paying you salary, because volunteers are not paid salary. Now, if it's in the corporate world, instead of complaining, I'm paying you salary, I'm doing this, the question you begin to ask is the innovative mindset. Now, what can we do to resolve this? If it's in the corporate sense, can I pay foremost of the salary now to help this person meet the issue? What resources can I put to help this person meet the issue? Now, what resources is in place for this person? And then what can he use to solve this? Now, you might look at public space. If this person can have access to public space to solve the issue of data, internet. Now, if there is no public space, is there access to private resources, generators, solar, and the likes? And when you begin to think like this, you will see that you solve various problems, and then they are all resolved. So now the issue now is not like the problem isn't there. The issue is, as leaders, you begin to think that, yes, I recognize this problem is there, but what can I do to solve it? And that is simply the creative mindset. Thank you so much. Oh, Doctor, you're muted.
Wow. I said the creative mindset, working with what you have, and at the same time, managing the situation, not giving up or complaining, which is the default fallback for many. I think this is very, very important. And before I get to Stephen, I'll ask you, so if you are the leader today, which you are already a leader in your own right, because leadership is personal responsibility, and every young person, young at heart or even in age, is a leader, depending on what he or she chooses to do, because leadership is personal responsibility, it's inspiration, it's passion to do something to touch life. That's real what leadership means to me. And we should all be leaders. So with what we see across the continent today, everybody complains. It's the default and the easiest, because you don't need energy or effort to blame someone except themselves. What can you tell a youth based on the experience from the app? I will still come back to the app, what the app is going to do. Based on the experience that you work with Bula, you work with Ayo, you work with everyone, Salim, what can you say are lessons that every youth need to learn? Yes, I know you've talked about resilient mindset and not defaulting back. Very briefly, before I get to Bula.
Okay. Now, I think that's for me, right?
Yes, it's for you, but the same question will go to Bula. But proceed.
So one thing every youth should learn is, please, if you are out there, do not put money first. Do not put money first. Now, I was speaking to a friend in the corporate world, I think around last week. He rose in the Naira conversion, he rose from 150,000 Naira in a month to 1 million Naira. And then I was having this conversation with him. I asked him, you are still in your previous work? He said, yes. Then what did you do differently? He said, instead of talking about money in the initial stage, I tell my employer I am able to solve the problem. I map out plan to solve the problem. Then I gave him reasons why detailedly solving the problem, why the money I requested for is equivalent to the problem being solved. He cited an example. He was given an app to develop by his current employer outside of the work scope. And then he charged the employer the space of 1 million in a month. And then the same employer was paying him 150. So from 150 to 1 million, that is around 8% increment. And then the employer said, why should I give you? And he mapped out the problem of the app. He solved everything. And then when he told the employer the employer complained, this money is too much. But then he ended up paying. Why? Because at first he showcased value. And then money came afterward. So now when you shift from the goal of focusing on money, and then looking at value, how to solve problems, every employer out there, everyone facing challenges out there, what they want is not how much it will cost me. What they want is, can you solve my problem? That is it. Once you can solve the problem, no matter how much you call, once they have the money, they will pay for it. Wow. They are going to pay for it. If it's the poor masses, if all they have is just 500,000, if all they have is 5,000, and then you're able to solve their problem, and you're able to tell them how your solution will make their life better, they are going to pay for it. How do you think the rich get richer? They don't get richer by leveraging on people's poverty. They get richer by solving societal problems. And that is simply what we're doing. So when you look at this, you look at the basic challenge which we face. You look at the challenge of farmers. You look at the challenge of the society. You look at the challenge of those in the rural area. And then you're able to solve this problem through innovative means. And that is just the secret, problem solving. That's why you